Happy Pride Month, everybody. This is the Sliders Review. I'm here today to talk to you about Marvel's New Warriors, the show that would have gave us a live action adaptation of New Warriors and Squirrel Girl. So, there's a reason why I have this for my Pride Month template. I'll get into that much later in the video. First, let me explain a couple of little things. So, back in 2018, I watched a cartoon series known as Marvel Rising. It basically had a lot of female superheroes, and it had, I think, maybe one male superhero. And it was a pretty cool series and everything. It lasted from 2018 to 2019, I believe. And it's a couple of good episodes. There's some I don't like, but I mainly started watching this because of Spider-Gwen. I just wanted to see a Spider-Man type thing, and Spider-Gwen was new to me, so I wanted to see what she was all about. And she had a new cool costume. And so in this, even though I did become a fan of Spider-Gwen, this is actually where I first saw Miss Marvel Kamala Khan, which I didn't like her because I didn't like how her hands grow large and all this other stuff. But there was one character in the show that was so quirky and crazy that I just fell in love with and everything. And that was Squirrel Girl and her awesome acorns catchphrase she had. Now, this depiction of her is from, because there's a couple of depictions of her. Some costume, or some animation, she's skinny, others she's big and thick. This is the thick version. And then some she has buck teeth, and there's some that she don't. Squirrel Girl is basically, I think she's a mutant. I haven't really looked too much into her character, but she's basically just like a mutant who looks like a woman, but she has squirrel ears and a giant squirrel tail. Her costume is very basic and everything like that. And so I was shocked and surprised to find out that the person who voiced her was the AT&T lady. And I love the AT&T lady and stuff. She's so cool. And her name is so hard to pronounce. Her name is Melena Trump. Look, I don't know. My tongue don't roll like that, so I can't pronounce it. Okay, I'm just gonna call her Melena. I can do that. And so, I thought that was so cool and everything. But see, what I didn't know is that there was supposed to be a show called New Warriors. Because I had heard at some point she was supposed to play a live action Squirrel Girl that was supposed to come out in 2018, but I had no idea about the production and everything that happened with it. So let's get down to it. I am devastated that we will never get a live action Squirrel Girl. One, because I like Squirrel Girl. Now, okay, here's the thing. Now, you know me, if you ever watch any of my Marvel videos, you know I hate that Disney baby humor that they keep infusing into all their shows and movies. I can't take it no more. I just can't take it no more. And so at first it wasn't that bad, but now it's too much, you know what I'm saying? And it's shown a lot more prevalent in the Disney Plus shows. It was slowly in the Disney Plus shows. Now it's very apparent with the last three entries, which being Moon Knight, which was just shocking. It has so much baby humor in it. Miss Marvel, and now soon to be She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. And so with She-Hulk that has not come out yet, it's supposed to be a comedy. Now, after judging by the first episode of Miss Marvel, it's pretty clear evident that this is just going to be a teeny bopper comedy show that just happens to have a superhero in it. But I don't even think she has a super villain, I don't believe. And so only time will tell how this will pan out. But with the animation movie and how teeny boppy it is, it's safe to say it's, part of that Disney comedy humor Marvel stuff, And so I'm just not for that. I like my superhero stuff to be more serious. If you have some humor, fine, make it serious humor and give me some action. And so however, if I know what to expect going in, then I'm a little bit more tolerant of it. With Miss Marvel, I had no idea. I had an inkling, but I'll get in more than that once the series is over and I'll explain why. Now with She-Hulk, I wasn't really sure what this was gonna be about until I saw the trailer. And I'm just like, huh? And then I saw like the description, like, oh, a comedy. So my mindset will be set into that of a comedy, so it will have a little bit more ease. But as opposed to what kind of humor they have in it, only time will tell if I find it like baby humor or whatever. You know what I'm saying? However, here's my thing about this baby humor stuff. If Disney is going to continue doing, which they are, because they're going to continue doing it because the baby humor is for the younger crowd and they want their movies to be friendly family movies so that they can make Kevin Feige tons of money and of course Marvel and Disney. And so that is the route they're on. So they're willing to, you know, just like piss off the fans who want things to be more serious just so they can make more money. Okay, fine, whatever. That's a business deal. I can respect that. I don't mean I have to like it, but I can respect it. So here's my thing. If you're gonna have Disney baby humor, hey, why not Squirrel Girl? She's cute, she's quirky, she's funny, and it was supposed to be a comedy series to begin with, a half-hour comedy series. And you know they're probably gonna have like, you know, action stuff, and you can do comedy humor. I mean, not comedy humor, action humor. It's been done before and it's been done pretty well, like with Doom Patrol and stuff. And so, you know, and other stuff, like it's been done before. So my thing is like this. If you're going to keep going down this route of baby humor, why not do it with somebody who is actually quirky in the comic books and stuff, and in that in animation that we know of? Plus, look at her, man. Look at Malena. She was born for this role. She already voiced the character. That's perfect casting right there. That's like having Kevin Conroy play Batman or Bruce Wayne, in which he did in live action in Batwoman on that Crisis episode. That is perfect casting. We could hear awesome acorns in real life. Not to mention, look at her. She is comic book accurate. Like, you don't get more perfect than that. She is literally perfection for this role. And not to mention, you know, like many people who crush on her and stuff, she is adorable. She is cute as a button. And she has $1 million smile. Why isn't Marvel trying to capitalize on that smile? And stuff. But let's get into the actual, like, you know, production stuff that happened with this, because I'm actually surprised they didn't go forward with this. So now the show itself had a bunch of group of like heroes. They're not like the Avengers, but they're, you know, like different. They have powers and they're hated because of that, very much like mutants. Now it was said this show was never supposed to cross over. Originally it's supposed to be like a tie-in, but it was never supposed to like cross over with that of like Runaways or Cloak and Dagger or nothing like that. They wanted this to have it like its own like footing, you know what I'm saying? And I just think this would have been great. Plus, Squirrel Girl in the comics, she actually killed Thanos. That's huge right there. And I know what you're saying, how she does it. Well, she has the ability to control squirrels and talk to them. So she had all her little squirrel friends run up to Thanos and eat him. No joke. That would have been insane. That would have happened in the MCU movies. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? This has been pitched ever since 2016, and it got pitched by Marvel Television, which I didn't know was a thing. I always heard of Marvel Studio, but now Marvel Television, and it was supposed to be produced by like ABC Signature Company and stuff. And it was supposed to air on Freeform. Now, here's the thing. This was way before Disney bought out all the Marvel properties that like Fox and everybody else has. This was supposed to tie in to the MCU movies and the Netflix TV shows, kind of like a buffer originally and everything. So it had that kind of correlation to it because many fans were very confused. Now, Kevin Beagle was set to create this show, right? Direct, showrun, stuff like that. But then they made a mistake. They brought in Jeff Loeb. And so as they did, like, their casting and their writing and then this and that, by the time it was 2017. And with 2017, Freeform was already getting to put out Cloak and Dagger in 2018. They were making that. And, that was a very different Marvel type show. It was more dark and urban than anything else. And then ABC and Jeff Loeb made Inhumans. And that was probably one of the things that did it for this series. See, Inhumans bombed. It bombed so bad that they had to cut it off before I think it even finished it, like additional episodes and stuff. And so that put a big stink on Jeff Loeb. Not only that, but his shows are very cheaply made. On the Netflix shows, like I said, they're cheaply made. And some are good, some are not. Iron Fist is not. Daredevil is. And so with Iron Fist, there were reports allegedly that he was racist. He showed up at a Comic-Con type thing with the karate gi acting stupid, and one of the actors who was Asian was not happy about that, and just a whole bunch of other stuff. And bottom line is Kevin Feige hates Jeff Loeb. So this is already making it bad for New Warriors and everything, because it was supposed to center around Squirrel Girl. So Freeform is kind of like, oh, we don't have enough room for this. Yeah, like we have a bunch of shows right now, and we just ain't got no room to put it on our schedule. Bye. And so they we're not gonna have it. So what did they do? They shopped around, and they shopped around on Hulu. They shopped around, and they thought about putting it on Disney Plus. But then nobody wanted this show. Nobody wanted this show. And it was supposed to come out in 2018. Cloak and Dagger already been out. The Runaways was on Hulu. And then so they made the pilot anyway. And from what I heard, the pilot went through the roof. Everybody loved it. Marvel loved it. Disney loved it. Everybody loved it. They just couldn't find a home to put it nowhere. And so as time went on, and by this time Kevin Feige was really hating on Jeff Loeb, then it got officially scrapped by 2018 or 2019, and they couldn't find a home, and that was it. It was dead. It was done. And so one interesting thing is that MODOK was supposed to show up in the series. And Hulu passed on this show, and they came out with their own MODOK show. That stop animation thing that got canceled after one season. By this time, of course, Disney had already bought all the Marvel stuff, and they just didn't want it on Disney Plus. Now, one of the writers for the show, and this is where the LGBT thing comes in and why I have this as a template. It is reported that this series was supposed to be very, very, very LGBT friendly. And he fears that when Disney and some people at Disney heard about this or saw this, they were just kind of like, nope, we ain't doing this. Now, Disney has come out and said they fully supported this, and that's not the problem. But we've seen LGBT representation in Marvel and Disney to the point of none at all. And so they made tiny innuendos when fans kept pressuring them to put in more, but they still haven't done enough. Like Miss Marvel, that haircut is an indication she might be, but we still don't know. Not Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel. I get in the mist though. When I think of Captain Marvel, I think of the DC dude, and that's how it should have been. But anyway, Captain Marvel. With that haircut, people was wondering. With Tessa Thompson's Valkyrie, people are wondering, but nothing is confirmed. Then, of course, you have one of the Russo brothers playing the gay dude in the Avengers Endgame, but nothing came of that. It was like a small innuendo type thing. Then, of course, now all of a sudden we have American Chavez in live action. I haven't seen Doctor Strange 2. I don't know what it's fully about. I know what it's about, but I don't know how big of a role she has, what kind of representation it has. And of course, not to mention all those Disney movies that had tons of male villains act like they gay, but of course they wasn't. And so it was always like they hinted, but they never wanted to give it. So there is a good possibility that writer is right. And so it's just a shame that we couldn't have a live action Squirrel Girl and a like New Warriors type show. And it probably could have been really awesome, especially if the test scores were like really the test rating or whatever you call it was through the roof and everything. And so like it's just like a huge bummer, like what I'm saying. And this pilot is somewhere out there, but it hasn't made its way on the internet yet. So sadly, it's not going to be like the whole Wonder Woman situation. But yeah, I really want to see what this pilot is about, but we'll never know. Now, of course, the creator, he leaked a couple of pictures from the pilot, so he has it somewhere. He's just not allowed to leak it. I say Marvel should just put it on Disney Plus, see how it does, and whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, heck, if you can have She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, and Miss Marvel be comedies, then why not this? If you could make Moon Knight, who's supposed to be dark, gritty, and made that into a comedy, why not this? Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.